Hey, Boppers. Hey Boppers, thanks for listening to another episode of Groovin Movies. We've got a great episode for you today. It's another long one, but that's because we get very into talking about I'm a Fugitive from a Chain Gang, which is a brilliant film. Before we start, as we have been doing for a couple of episodes now, we've got a little advert for a podcast that we think you will enjoy. This one's for Movie Bong. See you on the other side of the advert.
Welcome to Movie Bar,
a weekly podcast where two comedians discuss the greatest movies never made.
Never made? What's your malfunction, Rico?
Well, each week we choose a genre of film.
Sports movies, period dramas, erotic thrillers.
Then we pitch original movie ideas like
Ron Weasley, Nazi Hunter, Scottish Godzilla, or that movie where Chris Tucker becomes a time-traveling hitman and shoots Abraham Lincoln in the face.
Okay, I'm not being funny, Red, but this podcast sounds amazing. Where can I download it?
Movie Bong is available on iTunes, Spotify, and Podbean. Enjoy!
Warning, side effects may include drowsiness, dizziness, delusions of grandeur, itching, loss of breath, cannibalistic tendencies, random shark attacks, spontaneous combustion, a dead leg, inability to differentiate between the Hemsworths, itching, auriculation, the urge to kill, telekinesis, pyrokinesis, theopathetis, gout, and itching.
Hey Boppers, welcome to Groovin Movies. We're back again. Emma, Tom and myself are here. Say hello guys.
Emma calls her face every time you say that.
I know she does, yeah.
Because I laugh at my face.
She's ashamed to be here.
I am ashamed to be here
Of course.
on this fine day.
She's she's ashamed to be here, and I don't blame her, because if I were her, I'd have found something more interesting to do than this as well. But
We're here now.
we're here now. We might
We
as well
are.
make the most of it. That'll do. So, hello, welcome back again. I'm a Fugitive from a Chain Gang. 1932. This film was released, and it stars Paul Muni and some other people, but mainly Paul Muni.
Directed by Mervyn Leroy.
Yes,
Yep.
and
Mervyn
Glenda.
Leroy.
Oh, it does have Glenda in it as well, yes.
love
Glenda
the
Farrell. This podcast may become a Glenda Farrell exclusive podcast because she's wonderful. We saw her in the Mystery of the Wax Museum, and as soon as I get a hold of the Torchy Blaine series of films,
It just sounded awesome.
Oh yeah.
we're doing all of them.
Glenda
Yeah.
Farrell's a particular favourite of us. She's so sassy, blousy.
Yeah.
She's a blousy broad. She's actually
boss.
quite girl next door in this one. She's not in it as much as she could be.
Yeah.
But I think she's very wholesome, and her chemistry with Muni, because she's in some other films with Paul Muni as well, and where they have a lot more screen time together. But yeah,
Who's his last? Because I liked her a lot. I thought she was cool.
I will check the list.
I want to say Linda.
It is.
Is it?
Played by
Excellent.
Noel Francis.
Yes.
But yes,
Linda,
I'm a Fugitive from a Chain Gang does not bury the lead in what the film is about. It is about Paul Muni, his character. Well, depending on who he speaks to, he's either called James Allen or Alan James, but we'll get to that. He comes back from the First World War.
Decorated war hero.
Decorated war hero.
Sergeant. He's decorated.
The fact is that he
Probably
is.
in the decorating corps.
His mates want to be like
he was in
him.
the painting and decorating corps.
Yeah, that's why.
He's mainly done plastering
Yeah.
Yep.
throughout occupied France, and so him and his pals are talking about your favourite character, a Texan.
A Texan.
Yep.
Well, this is one of the things. Sorry, go on.
Sorry, is he the one who says about the lime taming? Because I
Yes.
was very enamoured with that.
Yes.
He's one of
My lamb teaming act.
the beginning of the film, they show all of the cast, and it's almost like the end of what you would get on Heidi High or
Or a
something.
low, low. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it
But
really
they show
is,
the
yeah.
cast, sort of photograph of them, and it lists their character names. And in the main cast, right? And these are people that are shown like as being in the main cast. They've not even given them names. I've wrote them down. There's several of them. So you've got Barton Churchill plays the judge.
Yep.
David London. Landau, that's right, I can't even read my own handwriting. David Landau plays the warden.
Yeah.
Louise Carter plays Mother, just Mother. William Lemaire.
What?
My handwriting.
Which character is it?
The Texan is played by William
So I gave up
Lemaire.
at Mother.
Oh, he doesn't. He's not. He didn't make it into the cast list here.
The Texan, awful. That man's never been near Texas.
No, no, he's not the lion tamer. He's the one who does because it starts out they're on a ship on the way back across the Atlantic, and they're talking about what are you going to do when you get back to the States? Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to get into construction.
James Allen really wants to be an engineer.
Yeah.
It's like he's got the same. He really wants to be an engineer.
Don't want to toss about anything else.
This is one of my absolute favourite films, and I'm proving that because I'm holding the Wisconsin / Warner Brothers screenplay series. I'm a Fugitive from a Chain Gang script.
He's got the script.
I've got
Some of us
a
do
book
research
of the script, and
some of the pages are stuck together. That's how much he loves it.
On the Glenda bit.
He dropped a fruit salad in there.
Yes, I did. The penny sweets, not a whole fruit salad, just a tin of Del Monte, just slopped down in the middle of it.
For Americans or people that don't know what fruit salads and blackjacks are,
a 1.8 cent sweet.
Yeah, they're
candy.
like I don't know, Mawam stripes or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
The first private says there'll be no inspection where I'm going. To which James Allen, our hero, says, "Where's that?" And First Private goes, "Oh!" First Private says, "Back into vaudeville with my old lion taming act."
Yes.
I wonder if Oscar and Minnie will know me when I step back into the cage. To which the Texan says, "You better hope they do."
Yeah.
Yeah. We're all talking about that, and James Allen is very excited. And then he goes home, and he's met by his mum and his sweetheart, played by Glenda Farrell.
Yeah.
Best thing in any film. Even if she's not in it, she's still the best thing in it. And his brother, who is a vicar, or a reverend.
Yeah.
Like he's got his dog collar on all the time.
Yeah.
This guy sleeps in his dog collar.
He's
Never lets up.
He's a bit haughty, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's not. There's no humility that I imagine.
No,
Someone,
I bet he takes his dog collar out to shit though. Because
yeah,
he
you
doesn't
can't
want-
disrespect
Well,
it.
so he can do it through it.
What about
like
a wee? You
acrobatics.
probably get away with a wee, couldn't you?
just because he didn't want, I don't know.
You
God.
don't want the bits of you on the bits of God.
Yeah, you don't want God getting involved with that kind of thing.
You'll still see him.
I've never been a reverend, so I don't know what the care of dog collar is. If Boppers, if you're listening, if you are a clergy, then do let us know how much environmental backsplash are you permitted on your dog collar?
What's the crack?
At Groovin Movies, Insta, Twitter. So he makes it back, and he's told that he can go and work in the factory that he worked in before.
By his creepy brother. His
Yeah.
creepy reverend. His brother's really creepy. The way that he says to him, you're going to go and work in the factory again. They'll have you back in the factory. You should just start off where you left. Go back to the
It'll be
factory.
like nothing has
Be
changed.
like nothing has changed at all. You can have your old office. Mr. Johnson says you can have your old office back. That's why he was at the railway station waiting for you.
Yeah, this guy's boss is, I mean, alright, he's a local hero, he's a decorated, small town, decorated, that's fine.
Yeah.
People are, and also he wasn't the only soldier to be coming back.
When I watched it, I kept feeling like thinking about Billy Liar, like a lot of it for whatever reason. But you know, set in America.
Yeah.
And because just because he's so like disenfranchised with anything anyone says to him, he's like, I'm too good for this now.
He don't want to do anything other than build bridges.
Yeah.
He's really he just wants to build bridges. He just wants to go out there and be an engineer.
Yeah.
He seriously, I mean, you don't know. Can you think about the thing that you want most in the world? The thing that you like. That is how much he wants to build things. He really wants to better himself.
A really
Yeah.
driven man. Yeah.
He wants to be an engineer.
More than
It's
entertaining.
it's sort of the whole idea is that he feels like he's sort of not necessarily wasted the time he was in the forces, but realised that a lot of people didn't come back and goes, right, well, I can't waste, this has opened my eyes to how much I need to do what I want to do.
But he built, that's the thing, was that he built a lot of bridges.
Yeah.
He was an engineer in the army. He was an engineer.
There you go.
That's right, that's why he wants to build bridges, because he loves building bridges.
Yeah, and he wants to do something that helps everyone.
He was
Build
like,
a proper bridge rather than a temporary one.
and especially in a war situation, particularly any of the 20th century European wars, a lot of destruction all over the place. Yeah, they're actually building something, creation out of destruction.
Yes.
So he's full of this. He is. And Muni's such an amazing actor. You can't take your eyes off him. I can't anyway. He's so charismatic. He's just magnetic, and he's just this driven
bridge
bloke.
metal has been here.
I imagine so. He passed through it, and now his poles are just on point.
He just wants to be an engineer.
I know, mate. I know. We've all.
But the weird thing that I noticed was, right, that every time he said, I just want to be an engineer, right, his brother and his mother would go, oh no, you don't want to be an engineer, that's so weird and creepy. And it's almost like it's a freakish thing to do.
Yeah.
Like he turned around and said, I want to do ballet.
Yeah, exactly.
And they go, we won't have no engineers in this town.
Yeah.
That's it, none of the things in this town were built by anyone.
Yeah, well, like the good book says, God hates engineers.
That's pretty much exactly how it was.
It's so, they're so unsupportive, and I go, but
engineers would have been stoned to death in the Bible.
But you've already done the factory thing before. It's like, which is why I know I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
No.
But I built bridges in the army.
Oh, you built bridges in foreign lands.
Yeah.
They're not real. Now you're back amongst real people.
That's it.
And he's, so the...
We don't have one of those bridge builders in this town. We drive them out, but not over a bridge. Probably the long way round to the next town where they've got a bridge already.
Well, what we do is we just drive, and then we just drive straight into a river.
Yeah.
Straight into a ravine because we don't care.
Right, he goes back to the factory job, doesn't he?
Oh, he does briefly,
When he walks into the factory job, they take him back to his old office, and he sits down at his desk, and what's out of the window but a delicious engineering project? They're actually building a bridge in the town, and that's all he can see.
Well,
and you can see him like literally slavering over the bridge.
Well, also, there's actually because it's like a quarry thing, and there's explosions, and he's like. Wincing. He's got PTSD. He's like actually reacting to the explosions, and
but then when he realises that they're engineering explosions and they're blowing stuff up so they can build a bridge.
Yeah.
I mean, they change from PTSD wincings to virtual orgasms.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but he's so confused. But he has to sit and watch. He's doing paperwork that is like, oh, you'll never know you're gone, and then like puts a load of paperwork from the last 4 years that hasn't been done yet because he's been in the war. He goes, you just get on with this 4 years of catch up, and he's looking out the window and they're exploding stuff and making the whole thing. I mean,
that's what makes him realise that he can't stay in the factory job.
Yeah.
There's a bridge in front of him. He wants to go out there and bridge America.
I really want people to watch this film, Tom.
No, honestly, it's this.
So let's not.
Do you know what, let me just clarify that I fucking loved this film.
Okay.
I thought
It is
this film
great.
was excellent.
Very
Absolutely
cool.
excellent all the way through. I'm taking the piss, but
Yeah.
I'm taking the piss because I loved it.
No, that's absolutely true. I just wanted that to be clear because I mean, for a start, it does have a really goofy title.
Yeah.
If it was just called Chain Gang or something, it would be. But
it's got a full-on everything. Just everything about this film is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
So good. I love the because then obviously you said that he goes off and he goes to follow his dream.
He goes to a bigger city like Chicago, something like that.
Somewhere like that, but he only gets very sort of temporary jobs, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And there's lots of sequences of
like
him
day work and stuff. Yeah.
applying for jobs, and they say, "Oh yeah, we'll take you on at this job," and then there's like a sequence. Then you see a map, and then like he moves down the map,
There's a lot of Indiana Jones map work in this.
Yeah, and then there's one bit where you see him driving a truck, and someone says, "Oh, you're the new guy, are you?" "Yeah, I'm just filling in for a few days." And then you see it move on to the next town, and each one the job gets smaller and smaller and smaller until
because there's an influx of men coming back from the war.
That's right.
And there's all this kind of stuff. And also, 1929 was the. Oh well, no, this was set before that, but there's sort of it's working up towards the Great Depression and all that kind of thing, and there's prohibition going on, and it's all of it. But yeah, so he basically ends up staying at the Y.
Yeah. Where he meets.
That dude.
Pete.
Meets
Yes.
Pete.
Oh, and do you know what I've written down about Pete? I've written Pete. I've put Pete, burger moocher, very weird shape. From the front, right? To top off him, looked normal. As soon as he stood up and turned round, massive arse.
Really?
Yeah, a weird, really wide arse, and he kind of walked
Do you know
like
what?
his hips were fused.
Trousers full of mooched burgers.
Yeah.
This was it. This is what I also wrote down. I put
It's full of meat sandwiches.
amazing hats in this film.
Oh yeah.
Phenomenal hats.
They were
Shit trousers,
cracking.
amazing hats.
Yeah.
I would have just gone out with a hat. That was beautiful.
Yeah. To be fair, there's a sequence when he's getting fitted for a suit later on, and he looks fucking baller in it. It's amazing. But yeah, so this guy Pete, they're sat there and he's going, "How do you fancy a hamburger?" And he's like, "A hamburger?" And do you know what? The way he looks, it's the way he thinks about bridges. He's just like, "I've been thinking about bridges for so long, I've forgotten about hamburgers." That sounds.
But there's a brilliant way that he retorts to Pete, and I can't remember what he says. Because it's a brilliant line. I don't know if it'll be the same line, but it's the way that he says, "How about a hamburger?"
What would you say to a hamburger?
What do you say to a hamburger or two?
He is transfixed when he's looking at it, isn't he?
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's like
Beautiful.
Well, I'm hungry. What would you say to a hamburger? What would I say to a hamburger? Well, I'd shake Mr. Hamburger by the hand and I'd say, "You're an old friend, but I haven't seen you in a long, long time."
that was it. Yeah, brilliant. When he meets Pete, right?
Yeah.
And Pete sort of introduces him. He's got his foot up on a chair and he's like leaning on his own knee, and he reaches over and he shakes Pete's hand, and then as he shakes Pete's hand, Paul Muni does this little manoeuvre where he kind of flick points to the side, and it's like he goes, "Nice to meet you, Pete," and he kind of flick points to the side. I can't. It's just. Seriously, watch this film.
It's stylish as fuck. It really is. Yeah, it's
Very
great.
cool. Yeah.
I am sat here just slowly leafing through the script, getting to important points, because this is the closest we're going to get to like an actual essay where we've got references and all that. We've got the Harvard.
Actually, give you the real stuff.
Yeah, Harvard referencing system in here.
However, Pete's not all he seems to be. Is it?
Well,
No.
to quote Pete, "I think I can mooch a couple in the lunch wagon down the street. The guy who runs it is a pretty soft egg. What do you say?"
Yeah.
Soft egg?
Yeah.
The guy who runs it's a 2-minute egg, I swear.
Yeah. That guy's a runny yoker.
Yeah. Yeah, but he literally goes in. Yeah, they walk in, and the guy's like, "Ah, you again?" And he's like, "Yeah, 2 free burgers, please."
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "All right."
He goes, "Yeah, it might be me, but I ain't mooched off you for a couple of days now." So, and he goes, "Oh, all right then. I'll give you some pointers."
Well, yeah, he seems like a good guy. And then Pete, all of a sudden, pulls a shooter out of his pocket.
Yeah. I mean, Pete's missed a trick there, because what he could have done, they could have eaten those burgers.
Exactly.
They could have. Those burgers, even in black and white, looked damn tasty.
Mate, I was considering.
At least if James Allen had his burger, it might have got better for him.
Yeah.
If he'd have had that burger, he'd have had the quick energy to run away from the police.
More resourceful. Would have got out.
Yes, Pete pulls the gun, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And they rob the guy. Well, James Allen doesn't. James Allen's made to rob him at gunpoint.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Pete.
He doesn't know what's going on.
Pete holds the guy up. The last guy. There's another customer. He finishes up, says thank you, and leaves.
Yeah.
So it's just Pete and James and the chef. He whips out the gun, says okay, open the cash register.
Yeah.
And then he points the gun at James and says, "Get round the back there and haul all the money out of there." He's like, "How much is it?" And he's like, "It's about $5."
$5.25.
It was very, very little.
Turns out burgers in 1932 cost 15 cents.
Really? Oh, there we go.
Well, certainly at that establishment, but that would probably be the average thing.
They leg it.
Yeah.
Pete opens the door to the burger. What do you call it?
Yeah, the wagon.
Burger wagon, and the police just shoot him.
Yeah.
So Pete gets deaded by the police,
Yeah.
right? And it's quite a brutal shooting as well.
It is, yeah.
Good gunshot noises. Very good sort of. What's the Foley?
Foley.
Word? Yeah, very good Foley. And they blast Pete like Popo style. And then James Allen goes to run out the other door.
Yeah.
Why didn't just stay and go, hey, it wasn't me,
Yeah.
the guy will back me up.
Yeah.
The dickhead I was with from the Y pulled a gun and forced me to do
Yeah.
it.
Both of us
Yeah.
were at gunpoint here.
But he has got the money on him still.
Yes,
But he could have gone.
He could have.
He could have given the money straight back and said, hey, you know for a fact I wasn't
Would they
there.
believe
That's the yeah.
I mean, I feel like during the subsequent court case, the burger wagon man
Should have made an appearance.
probably wasn't even
Yeah.
called as a witness.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Injustice.
It is a shameful injustice, this
well,
whole
of
film.
course. This is where the movie really sort of begins. Its this is when
Downward trajectory.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is when James starts to change.
Even more than he changed in the army.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
well, from the army he came back quite full of vim. He was. I mean, there's a suggestion of like
Sexual
shell-
advances towards Bridges.
well, shell shock. I was going to say what we know now
Yeah.
as PTSD.
Yeah.
His bridge, however he feels about his bridgephilic
objects and
tendencies.
sexual kind of things going.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, I will say this: there's only really one person in this film who displays any kind of sexual urge whatsoever, and that's Helen. Is it
Yes, Helen.
Helen? So he witnesses people being whipped for basically the people who do the least work in a day,
Yep.
which is objectively always going to be somebody, or anyone they thought was slacking or anything like that, gets beaten with like an 8-inch wide leather strap.
Oh, it's a big
Doesn't matter
slap,
if you
innit?
faint.
It looks appalling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's
everyone,
pretty
all of the guards and the wardens seem to take quite a lot of delight in exacting punishment on these.
Yeah.
And it's
poor
quite
fuckers.
a graphic depiction, to be fair. I mean, it doesn't show it blatantly, but
No, I
it's
think
enough.
it's a sort of silhouette-y kind
Yeah.
of thing, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
And you see the aftermath.
Oh yeah.
But it's not just that. It's a protracted scene where, like James Allen, because James Allen gets into trouble himself.
Yeah.
because-
Protests it. He goes, "Hey, what are you doing? Leave him alone."
No, he says, "You filthy skunk."
Oh yeah. He does.
And then,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he gets, and then because one of the guards hears him say that,
Yeah.
he gets taken off and whipped.
Yeah.
But the guy before him who gets whipped really screams.
Yeah, he does.
But James Allen shows his stoicism.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And there's no sound, just the sound of whipping, and just sort of like a tiny little.
Or like, sort of like an extra hard exhale through the nose. Like,
He's obviously thinking about Bridges.
yeah,
whilst he's
yeah,
doing it.
yeah.
It's
It's the only thing to stop the pain is just thinking about bridges.
if I can be as hard as a bridge.
Let the pain walk over you like a bridge. Let the pain flow under you like a bridge.
If I can span this sentence like it's a ravine and I'm a bridge.
Also, I don't know, this might be the first, possibly not, but calendar months dropping off, the leaves
Yeah.
of the calendar dropping off to denote
Yes.
time.
But they did that in a very clever way the first
Yeah.
time
it
because
takes ages.
it was
They let you count every day.
but each
innit?
one
Like-
was each calendar page
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
knocked off by a hammer.
Yeah.
From when they were
doing the
breaking
railroad.
rocks.
Yeah, breaking
And
rocks.
it's
and rocks on the
usually
railroad.
preceded by something just horrific, and you go, oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's all so that each time the sledgehammer strikes, the page comes loose and
Yeah,
falls
full of
down.
floats off the calendar.
It might not be the first time that was done, but it was certainly a stylized way of doing it.
Yeah, and there was and it complemented the map work
yes.
very much so.
Yeah, a lot of that fading in and out, the sort of the semi-opaque kind of thing, the transparent films and stuff. I don't know how new that tech was at the time, but they certainly enjoyed it.
I've quite enjoyed the sequence where James Allen goes in for his first prison meal.
Oh, yeah, so I
and
was just thinking that.
Yeah, and he sits down and there's like there's a like a tray with a segmented tray in front of him.
Got like a pig's ear on it or something.
And he sits down and he scoops up this gruel type thing and puts it in his mouth, and he goes, "Oh God!" And he pushes the bowl away, and all the rest of the prisoners laugh at him. And he says, "How can you eat this muck or whatever?" And the guy who he comes to learn, who he comes to get to know, Bomber, who becomes his mate in prison, says he goes, "Grease, fried dough, pig fat, and sorghum, and that's what you're getting for every meal."
Could be worse.
Every day. And I'm like, just grease?
Yeah.
Just some grease? But
Actually, if they were being resourceful, they could have put round the shackles to ease the facilitation of getting it off.
But like, just like grease. And I don't even know what sorghum is.
It sounds awful. There's a character in called Sebastian. Bomber describes him, because you mentioned this before we started recording. Bomber describes him as, look over towards Sebastian. The script describes him as swinging his sledge with beautiful rhythm and perfect accuracy. He's not far from Alan and Bomber. Bomber says, "Look at that big buck handle a sledge. He never misses. You can lay down a nickel and he'll knock the buffalo eye right out."
He'd make a fantastic sniper.
Yeah, I mean, he's the only guy in it bigger than Paul Muni, who's a pretty big lad, and he's enormous shoulders, and basically Alan comes up with the idea of escaping by getting Sebastian to proper wallop him on the ankle restraints.
That was a hard scene.
It is really hard to watch, and it's like he never misses, so he'll definitely, and he does it by bracing his foot on a railway beam, like the metal track, and Bomber gives him about 3 or 4 proper wallops on each foot to bend them out of shape, so that he can slide them off the next day.
But like the whipping, he was just like really quiet and really still, considering he's just like, keep going, keep going.
Yeah. Again,
The
that's
desperation is like
stoicism.
overriding everything else.
His character.
You can't.
will escape using engineering.
Basically, can you, Sebastian, can you build a bridge on my ankle chains? No, I can hit them though. Very well, do that. Can you hit them into a bridge? No, I can't. Yeah. So so what he does is he goes, because he gets told off for wiping sweat off his forehead, and he gets told, no, you've got to ask permission to do that. He's like, and then Bomber shows him. He goes like this, wiping it off here, boss. Wipe it off.
Yeah.
And he does that, and he goes, all right then. So he goes off to do a wee, boss, or whatever.
Which
and he goes,
they're totally allowed to just pop off.
Well, yeah, but
Which is
presumably
obviously good,
that's why they're shackled, so they can't really get very far.
Yes.
And also, if someone spots that a shackled man is walking away in the direction away from the prison, probably a naughty. But,
That's a good point there. Yeah.
But without them, he just appears to be a man in a dreadful outfit. But what he does, so he sneaks off to do a wee. I'm doing air quotes. And then boots off, slides his feet out from there, leaves the chains. But the thing that slightly irritates me is that he waits until the guy can see him, and then he runs off.
Yeah.
But I suppose that's why it's exciting. So the dogs come out, and the guys with rifles are running after him.
Yep.
And so
Bomber says to him, he says, if you're going to escape, you got to beat the chains, you got to beat the hounds, and you got to beat the guards.
Yeah.
But most of all, it's like a really sort of like. So he knows that they're going to come after him. But the fella Sebastian, who knocks his chains out of shape, says to him, just completely agrees to him, even though he could probably get into trouble for it.
Yeah.
But he obviously realises that James Allen is needs to be an engineer.
he
Really needs to be an engineer.
he sees something in Alan that
He sees bridges in his eyes and money in his heart, and he says, yeah, I'll do it for you because I think you're due for a better life than this, Mr. Allen, pretty much.
Like, everyone's so supportive and
Yeah.
so kind, and you're like, whoa. Like, him and Bomber, lovely lads.
Yeah, he makes very nice friends in prison, doesn't he?
Sebastian says, all right, but you keep your eye on them, talking about the guards. So he's like, Alan goes, I am, look, I'll put my leg like this, and then he sort of braces himself against the railroad tie. Tie, that's what it's called, a railroad tie. Sebastian says, hold still now. If I hit your leg, your foot will drop right off along with the shackle. Brackets. He grins. Maybe 8 thwacks that it takes to loosen them up enough. But yeah, and then he takes a massive reed.
Yep. Oh, that was brilliant.
And then hides under the water. And there's a very tense bit where one of the guys is up to his waist in water, walking really close to him.
Like Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. I've just seen here. Bomber gives him $7.
Oh,
That's right.
And
such a sweetie.
and an address for that Barney guy.
Yeah.
So it'll put him up.
So Barney was released from prison earlier.
Yeah.
In the film.
Yes, we met Barney earlier, and he said Barney's going to be in Stanton. Stanton? Stanton. Cuts to him walking squelchily. The rest of him's dried, but his boots are still squelchy. And then he buys himself a suit for $1.75. And Barney sets him up.
Oh, he goes and gets shaved.
Yeah, he does.
And like,
That's
oh, that was
favourite
tense.
scene.
That's a brilliant scene.
It's
isn't it?
it's like my favourite bit about that scene is he's being shaved,
Yep.
and a couple walks into the barbers,
One of the guys who works at the prison.
And they're chatting about it as well.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and he's going
He's just had a trim. He's had his hair made nice and neat, and he's just having his horrible growth, his grizzle, and he's in a brand new suit as well.
and he thinks he's going to get recognised by the prison guard who's sat there, and so he says to the barber, "Give me a hot towel, barber."
Yeah.
And the barber comes and puts a hot towel on his face, and then he gets
Hot enough for you?
yeah, hot enough for you. And then he gets out of the chair. And the warden's talking about James Allen, and he actually gives a description of James Allen.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
James Allen kind of asks him,
Oh, he's about as tall as that guy you're shaving, and about as broad as that guy you're shaving, and he's
Pretty
got
much.
the same face as that guy you're shaving. It's
Pretty much.
really.
and then he goes to leave, and the barber says to him, "That a close enough shave for you?" And he turns around and goes, "Pretty close."
Yeah.
And it's like, it's like,
It's close enough for you?
yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Oh, hang on, I found it here.
I
Let
just
me
kept
see.
thinking it was like, I kept seeing Jonathan Van Ness in that scene, and I was like, yes.
Here we go. How was it? Close enough? Plenty.
That's it.
And then he just walks out.
Yeah, straight
Walks
out.
in
But
away.
obviously the prison guard doesn't recognise him because he's cleaned up, new
Yeah.
suit, clean shaven,
And
weird trousers.
He sees him as a man, not as a prisoner.
Yeah.
He's like, he doesn't. That's another thing, is the dehumanization of prisoners as well. This caused a big stir. People were outraged when this film came out at how people were treated in the chain gang, and and it's, some argue that this is one of the reasons that the Hays Code was brought in this film, because it was making people think that the penal system in America was was rotten, there was bad stuff going on in it, and that's one of the reasons that I really, really love this film. I didn't even know about this till later on. I'm like, wow, this is something, until I found out what the Hays Code was and all that kind of thing. So yeah, and so he goes off and tries to. It's rooms 75 cents and up.
But I thought another bit, I just want to, because I got really excited about this, where
No,
he visits somewhere and then he's chatting. Oh no, this last comes in, I think it's Marie. Is it Marie? Can't remember. And she kind of offers to help him, and then she's like all kind of sexy dexy, and she kind of gets her ankles out, and it's like,
This was
it's
I've
Linda's
written this
ankles.
down. I've written 4 ankles.
Yes.
This was
Helen.
yeah, but this was the
Oh,
last.
so you were right, sorry.
This was the lass who offers him a room, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
I got myself
And she
confuddled,
says
apologies.
it's $25 a month.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, I can't afford that. I'm off.
Yes.
And she goes, well, I'll do it you for 20 because. And then she does some like sexy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll do it you for 20 because you're the kind of guy who would fit in well around here, and would make good company or something like that. And then he literally scans down her dress until you see her ankles.
Yeah.
It's so funny. But the
is.
thing is,
She's properly taken with. He's Alan James by this point.
oh, that's
isn't he?
right.
Yeah.
He's done the old switcheroo on his name.
Fucking
He
ridiculous.
goes to get a job.
And a cop walks past.
Yeah, and he says, and the guy who says to him, "Oh, we could use a man like you.
Yeah.
What's your name there?" And he goes, "Alan." And then the guy goes, "Is that your first or your last name?" And he goes, "First name. What's your second name?" And rather than coming up with anything original, he just
Smith,
goes,
Brown, whatever.
just James gives his first name.
Not even Jameson or anything.
The old
you know.
switcheroo, just Alan James. Idiot.
I
He
do-
just wants to be an engineer.
I know,
It's
mate.
alright, he gets to nail it well.
He should have called himself Alan Bridge. Alan Bridgeworthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alan Key.
Nice.
yeah. That would have been a fucking brilliant name.
Love an Alan Key.
Alan Key,
fair,
yeah.
wasn't
No, you're absolutely. Oh. I hate this film now.
The thing is,
You've ruined it for me, Emma. I'm sorry.
got the job now.
I know,
and he's an
yeah.
engineer now.
But
You see his book of civil engineering, he's off his tits.
You do, and also day on day, he makes suggestions that make everything work. And also, he works with one of the most honest foremen in the world. He goes, "I told the boss about your idea." It's like, really? Because I bet 70% of foremen would just take that credit and go, "I got me an extra $12 a month in my paycheck." But you see his day rates go up and up and up, and it starts from like $4 a day, and then at one point he's making like $20 a
He
day.
is breaking it in.
And then that's when he decides he's going to leave Helen's flat.
You would, because she is.
Because she's constantly just going, "Hey, Alan, why don't we go and do shagging tonight?" And he's like, "I'm reading this book on civil engineering using a book stand."
Yeah.
Because it's a more engineering way of reading a book. It's like reading it on a bridge. And so then he goes, I'm finding a better apartments. And then she's like, "No, you're not,
Yep.
James Allen."
Yeah,
He's like, "Where did you learn that name?"
she knows.
She pulls out a letter that his brother sent. Now, to be fair, his brother, who we already don't like because he's a bit I'm friends with God and you're a bellend kind of guy. He has just written in this letter, "Oh, I'm so worried about the fact that you've escaped from a chain gang and your real name is James Allen." And this is another one where you just have the piece of paper held up on the screen for you to read at your own leisure. And so she goes, "Yeah, I guess you wouldn't want the police knowing about it, so we'd better get married." So that's how he ends up marrying her. He then falls for another woman.
Yeah. Who is awesome.
She's great, yeah. And he's doing really, really well. He's like rebuilding a whole city full of bridges. So he's off doing that. And then he goes, "Do you know what? I don't want to be with you anymore. We're going to get divorced." And she's like, "All right then." And then calls the police. And he gets sent... Well, no, he gets duped. This is one of the most heartbreaking bits of the film. This is actually a really, really deeply moving film.
Yeah, I know.
It's really, really upset because he gets all that he wants.
He gets to be an engineer, and not just an engineer, superintendent of all engineering in Chicago.
Yeah.
He is.
I mean, literally.
Which, as we know, Chicago's nickname, the Engineered City.
Yes. Yeah, Engineer Town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Engineer 101. It's
Eng Town, they
like,
call it.
Town.
You know, they have the deep engineered pizza.
Yeah, they do.
Yep.
It's got all scaffolding in it.
Yeah.
Give me one of those engineered pies.
It's it. Literally, a Chicago Town pizza over there is an entire miniature replica, 1/1000th scale miniature of the entire city of Chicago.
It is.
In pizza form.
Yeah, with pepperoni on it.
Mate,
And
That's what it
microwaving
is.
it ruins the structural integrity.
It's, yeah, absolutely. And that's why it needs to be that thick and not really a pizza. Sorry,
Right.
Chicago, don't at me.
Made by the doozers out of Fraggle Rock.
That's who he essentially becomes. He becomes the king of the doozers.
King of the doozers.
And this is the heartbreaking bit.
Oh, God.
He then gets investigated by the police, and they go, "Are you that guy who escaped?"
But we talked about him pulling that other the girl he wants to get married to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because
Talked
they were
about
like,
He
they
had
were at
another
that ball,
great
weren't
hat
they?
on.
Yeah.
Great. He had a straw boa.
Yes,
Yes, he
and
did.
she was like, "You're very strange, aren't you?
Yeah. She's like, "You're a weird guy.
Yeah, you're my kind of guy."
Want to bang?"
And she,
Let's
yeah,
split.
and she goes, "Well, I'm free. I'm white. And I'm 21."
That was like my favourite.
Yeah. She
Free
goes,
and white.
yeah.
I'm 21.
Free white.
and 21.
Three whites and 21, and that's just incredible.
Ooh. I was in they have a meal with the boss, but I can't remember any of that. And that's where they meet together. So
They
that's
get
fine.
invited for a meal.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You
Yeah,
never see any
Bond
of
and
that.
Bolt is what I
At
put.
Club Paradiso or something
Yeah.
like that.
That's when he confronts Helen and says, I want to be happy." So she shops him in, and he. And so he gets a lawyer, and they're talking about it. And going, "Look, you escaped." He goes, "Yes, I did, but look, I've made something of myself.
Bridges. I've made
I've
bridges.
made bridges out of myself.
I'm an engineer.
Hey.
I am not."
And I engineer, and I engine there, and I engineer, an engine over there.
Engineered this entire
See
thing.
that pizza you're eating? Engineered it.
Yeah.
Engineered it,
Done
mate.
Made everything.
Proper engineered it, mate.
Proper engineered everything, mate.
So you can shut up.
You know, this trial,
Superintendent.
engineered it.
Chief Superintendent Engineer Boy.
Yeah.
And so they say, "Look, we've got all these people who vouch for you, but you did escape a chain gang. Now, we can either fight this legally, or you can go back voluntarily,
Yeah.
do 60 days, and
You get pardoned.
and we will pardon you for the rest based on all of this. And the 60 days, mate, you won't be on the chain gang. We'll get you some like admin work to do.
Cushy little office job,
Little
mate.
cushy little thing, you
Probably
know.
be able to
You're a
look
man
at a
of fine
bridge.
standard.
Yeah. Look, it's all good, man. Just if you agree to that now, we'll sort it all out. It's good. We don't want a a good man like you
Yeah.
mucking around with all the murderers and shit. You know, don't worry about that. So he goes, "All right then, fine." So they go, "Oh, welcome back. So 60 days, yeah, definitely 60
All right.
days. Yeah, that's fine. That." Office job, mate. You did make us look like pricks, and
Yeah.
you did tell everyone that being on a chain gang wasn't fun.
Yeah.
And that makes us
Look that.
look like a right set of twats. So you're on the chain gang again. 60
Yeah.
days. 60 days, mate.
That's all, yeah.
Don't worry about that. So he's like, "Oh, I should have known they were going to screw me over." Well, lesson learned, James Allen. Alan James. Lesson learned, me. So, we're just going to have the 60 days. That was hard work, but you've been a model chain gang member. Let's just pop you through into the office here, and
It's not like a small one. Though.
no, not like a scale model.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you've been like a good example of one.
But he's like nerding up like throughout the entire thing just to put his case together, isn't he?
Oh yeah, completely. He's working away at it, and then they say, it's going to be more than 60 days. You've got to do another
You've got to do a year.
Another 9 months, wasn't it?
9 months. We've
Yeah.
worked
Got
it
a
out.
baby.
You've got to do a year. You've
Yeah.
got to do a full year.
Yeah,
Which is 9 months left, and then
Yeah.
you can go.
Yeah.
Cue another calendar scene.
I
Yeah.
was honestly heartbroken at that point.
yeah.
I was gutted for it.
It's utterly devastating. This
He's
film.
he's a very good actor, that man, and the devastation on his face.
Oh, it's writ large.
Yeah.
It's. Ugh.
But there is a little silver lining coming up because he does bump into his old friend Bomber.
Bomber.
Yay.
Yeah, the silver lining of Bomber being back in prison.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they're all
Bomber
like,
yeah.
they're all like, "What are you doing back?
Yeah.
Come here, you big one."
Yeah, they're like, "Mate, what are you doing here?" Like, "Oh, you know, just yeah." So he meets Bomber again, and then his second escape is much more daring.
Wow, what a quality escape!
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was great.
He, with the help of Bomber, he basically hijacks a dump truck, I suppose. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
It's they're dumping some more rocks. The thing is, they never appear to be actually working on anything in particular. Once he goes back, they're literally just going, see that pile of rocks? Yeah, can you just hit them with a pick? For how long? Until it's dark.
That was a great scene. He must have done 20 full bore strikes on that earth, and it's a really long, protracted scene again of him just whacking earth with a pickaxe.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, you've done some work there.
Yeah. You can see actual progress being made. It's the force that he uses and the determination. Again, like you said, I can't take my eyes off him when he's on screen. He's
proper hammer training.
Yeah.
That's what earlier on in the film, when there was a large scene of them all with hammers, and there must have been about 60 or 70 guys in this one scene, all just whacking the shit out of the earth with these sledgehammers, and they were in very close proximity to each other, and I did wonder about the health and safety and how much hammer choreography was involved.
To be honest, at that point you could have probably just gone to a prison and said, can we just set a camera here for a moment? This one's ours, by the way. That's an actor, not one of yours.
In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't do that. Because it was such a large scene and such a large, and also the prison set as well was excellent.
Yeah.
And health and safety would have been right.
No, not
again. When we spoke about Warriors, we spoke about how sort of grimy and sort of grim the whole thing was. Whereas with this, the sort of the discomfort that's sort of palpable in like the bunk room, like the sort of not barracks, but like the sleeping quarters in the prison, and the chain. Everything looks so uncomfortable. It all looks really wooden and splintery, and the bedclothes look so like cigarette paper thin and all that kind of stuff. It's really, really uncomfortable to look at. I think it's incredibly atmospheric. And so he with the help of Bomber, he hijacks a dump truck, which has got a load of dynamite in it as well. And do you know what? This is the heartbreaking bit. He has to destroy a bridge.
Yeah. He has to destroy a bridge.
He drives over the bridge. They're in hot pursuit, but
This is how far he's fallen.
This is where he loses himself entirely.
There's no going back. Once he's put the fuse in, he lights the fuse. He throws the dynamite onto the bridge. They're driving over it. He destroys the bridge. They're halfway across it. The feds 5-0. And they are on the bridge and they can't get him anymore. He's put the dump truck back up, so they can't shoot him. Yeah, bulletproof shield thing. And then he brings it back down on his shackles, and then he's on the lam for the rest. We see. Do we see more dates go past, or more? We saw more Indiana Jones maps.
Yeah.
And he's just. There's newspaper articles and stuff about how he's still at large. They haven't seen him for months. And then we get back to Glenda Farrell, always welcome. And she's probably the only actress in this that could have pulled this off. That's probably why they reserved it for her. She just runs into him one day, and he looks a complete mess. He's a wreck.
It's harrowing.
And and she's like, "Well, you can come back." He's like, "No, I've always got to keep moving. I can't stop. I can't stop. I have to go." And the way that it carries on for longer than that in the script. But the last thing is that she goes, "But what do you do for food and what do you do for money?" And he just says in the darkness, "I steal."
Yeah.
I steal. It's one of the bleakest endings to a film I've ever seen.
It really is, yeah.
And it just.
I
steal.
Yeah, and at the end, he's got this crazed look in his face.
You hear one noise.
He's feral. He's like they hug each other, and he's still like he's like a stray dog. He's like doesn't quite trust anyone. He's looking around. He's spoken to her for about 4 sentences, and you're like, I gotta go. Can't be here. He's just it's truly a profound film, and one of the reasons I love pre-Hays cinema is that they're allowed to. I mean, they literally weren't allowed to question authority in Hollywood after the Hays Code was written. It was literally illegal to do so. To have the Reverend being such a buffoon and being selfish and being even just flawed. And all that kind of thing, and it's I think it's a phenomenal piece of work. What's your favourite bit, Emma?
My favourite bit is when the guy calls and he's asking for Linda, and he's very clearly drunk and very clearly excitable, and he's like, if John Bronson was crossed with, I don't know, like, I can't remember. Anyway, so he's really excited and he calls.
Does look like a cartoon of someone. He looks like he's an exaggerated.
Very exaggerated.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I forgot to mention that Linda's doing the dirty on him with all sorts of people, and he doesn't care. He's not interested in Linda. She can do, he funds her lifestyle. So this guy rings his flat, going, "Where's Linda? I thought she was going to meet me. Stand me up, huh?" Yes.
Tell her husband.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty good. What about you, Tom? What's your favourite bit?
My favourite bit was the sort of prison scenes early on. I thought that was a really good sort of depiction of how horrible that life was. And then when he was back in the prison, but also the escape chase at the end was really good.
Yes,
that was really good.
I think both escape. I think the Barber scene is up there for among my favourite because that is as tense as any. Because the thing is, the cop's not even, or the warden, whoever it is, the lawman, is not even depicted as being particularly skilled or great, but it's just the proximity, and it's because he's reminded himself what he looks like in his head. He's said it out loud, and I think
it's the literal the close shave whilst having a close shave.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was genius.
It's
I did half wonder if he was going to leave the towel on for the entire thing and then kind of just walk out with the towel on.
just wang it over his shoulder backwards.
Kind of.
Yeah. I would so recommend anyone watch this film because it's a great drama. It's pretty nicely paced as well, given that there are lots of bits in it. It's only about 90 minutes long. I wonder what sort of a film it would have been if they hadn't had such an excellent actor as the main guy, because other people sort of come and go, dip in and out. There's no sort of consistent sort of sidekick or partner in the film. He's, it depends where he is at all times.
I suppose his nearest to that is Bomber.
Bomber is the closest, absolutely.
Yeah, but he's been burnt before, like by Pete and people like that.
Yeah, well, that's it. He finds it difficult to trust people. This is a really, really important area of American cinema.
Nominated for 3 Oscars.
Yes,
wow.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah, no, this was taken legit seriously.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely say have a look for it because it's properly good.
Really worth a watch.
Thanks for listening, Boppers. I hope you get a kick out of that. If you have any things you would like to say to us, if they are of length, then groovinmovies@gmail.com. If they are briefer, then by all means @groovinmovies on Twitter and Instagram, and the Groovin Movies Boppers Clubhouse on Facebook. So thank you very much to our partner podcast this week as well. You'll have heard a little insert I put in for them, so thank you to those guys, and we'll see you next time. Say goodbye, everybody.
We'll see you again soon. See, definitely. It's alright.
Groovin Movies featured Tom King, Eddie French, and Emma Tidswell, and is part of the Discount Comedy Checkout Network. For more information, go to www.comedycheckout.com. Thanks for listening.